Hello, my name is Ben Friedman. Today I am doing a breakdown of the newest Netflix trailer, Emilia Perez. The reason I'm doing this breakdown is because Emilia Perez premiered at the Cannes Film Festival a few months ago, and it's getting a lot of Oscar press. A lot of people are thinking this is going to be one of the big players for this year's Academy Award. So I wanted to talk about this film. It's an interesting premise, and I have it written down here. This is coming from Netflix. It's a French musical crime comedy. I had to pause because I had to think exactly how it was described. It has some big American stars in it. Zoe Saldana, Selena Gomez are in this movie. It's critically acclaimed. Like I said, won the Palme d'Or jury prize, and it's has a lot of just incredible representation in it. And if it went on to get a lot of awards, it would be a really big deal for representation within the Academy Awards. Emilia Perez follows a disgruntled lawyer, Rita, who is tasked with assisting an escaped Mexican cartel leader in undergoing sex reassignment surgery for both the practices of evading the authorities and also to affirm her gender. So I have the trailer right here. We are going to do a full trailer breakdown of Emilia Perez starting now. It's kind of crazy that Selena Gomez got a role like this. I just don't think of her as that level of an actor. So this is definitely going to be the French selection this year for the Academy Awards. I can say that with pretty good confidence. I am hearing a lot of buzz for the actress in this film, Karla Sofia Gascon. She would be running for Best Actress, I would assume. She plays Emilia Perez in this movie. I keep hearing this unlike anything else. I've heard this film is extremely bold, it's original, it takes chances, it's exciting. It's a film that does feel like it would, be loved by a con audience. Curious to see how this does on Netflix in a few weeks. A lot of cinematography work, a lot of beautiful just cinematography work, locations, shoots. And that's the trailer. And that's where some of the excitement that I've heard about this movie is. I've heard this movie is just kind of bonkers in the best way possible. So let's cut back to me right now. Emilia Perez. So it's not like I can say I know much about this movie, after watching this trailer. I am kind of going in with the same expectations that I went going into this trailer, I should say, seeing this movie. I want to see this movie. When so many people say so many things of acclaim directed towards a certain movie, I always get excited. And Cannes Film Festival is notorious for giving us some of our best, films each year and films that do go on to get Academy success. Last year they had Anatomy of Fall. The year before that, I'm trying to think which film they had. They had a big film in 2022. I cannot remember. I know Titan was 2021. uh Geez, this is Parasite was 2019. I know Parasite premiered there as well. They've had a few of these. Oh, Triangle Sadness was 2022. So they've had these films that go on to get, large recognition with the Academy Awards, and they just, they are a film festival. They are always kind of, besides Sundance, they're one of the earliest film festivals of the year. This year, Megalopolis premiered. The Apprentice premiered. They didn't have a ton of flashy premieres, I should say, or I should say flashy in the sense that these are being deemed some of the best movies of the year. It was a very controversial con this year with The Apprentice, with Megalopolis, with a few of these big movies from big name filmmakers just kind of flopping, or these big premises like, Donald Trump just, falling flat. And the two big ones were Honora and Emilia Perez. These two were the ones that kind of went on to just, get all the big awards at this year's festival. And honestly, this year it's a very open race for the Academy Awards at this moment. I mean, there is not a lot of competition going on right now. I think Dune Part 2 is really kind of the front runner, and it's definitely not the level of success that Barbie or Oppenheimer had coming out of the summer. Everything feels open. Even like I keep hearing Best Actor, Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing. Maybe it's just the case of I don't know anyone who's gone to see this movie outside of like critics in the big markets. I know here I haven't gotten the chance to see it yet. It actually just opened up in Sacramento. I'm hoping to see it in the next few days and have a review out for you guys. But it does just kind of show just, the lack of a consensus. And maybe this is also just not me being on social media anymore. I'm no longer on Twitter, which is, huge part of the discourse. I don't really know any of it besides the stuff that I'm reading online. Occasionally I get stuff from Reddit. But largely, I'm just kind of going blind. So I'm hearing some of the hype from people I talk with. But Emilia Perez is definitely one of them. Emilia Perez is a movie that has gone on and has essentially penetrated not only the social media bubble, I guess, but also hey, if you're not on film Twitter, if you're not on uh, Oscar, I'm trying to think of the subreddit on uh, that talks about the Oscars race. I think it might be called Oscars race, awards race, something like that. Like, if you're not on these sites, this movie is now starting to penetrate even further into people who have a little bit more distance to it. So I'm really curious to see how this movie is going to do, how people are going to react to it, especially with Selena Gomez as the front and centerpiece. So, you think of Selena Gomez as someone who essentially makes either really broad comedies like what she's doing with Steve Martin and Martin Short on uh I, the murder mystery podcasting TV show. I'm blanking on the name right now. You think of her time, Wizards of Waverly Place, going back to Wizards of Waverly Place. She's had a few like Harmony Korine movie, Spring Breakers. Like, she's in it, but she's also like exits the film pretty early. Like, she doesn't take these types of roles. So it's going to be interesting seeing her in this type of film. I think Zoe Saldana lends the film a lot of just kind of credibility with American audiences, as people who are not familiar with this filmmaker, which I will admit I'm not particularly familiar with this filmmaker. It's all working in this film's benefit, and I am curious to see Emilia Perez. I believe this movie comes out sooner rather than later. This might be one of the earlier films that comes out this year for the Oscars race. Let's see. So it's now premiered in France. It was released on August 21st, 2024. Does Netflix have a date of release yet? Here it is. The film is set to receive a limited theatrical release in the US and Canada on November 1st before debuting on Netflix November 13th. So I'll be seeing this movie if I don't get the chance to see it end of October for an early screening. I'll be seeing this movie in beginning of November and having a review for it. But later this week, I'm going to be doing a full breakdown, 40 plus films, all films that are essentially going to get an FYC spending towards it, films that essentially are going to be in contention. Now, this doesn't mean that they're front runners. This is just studios are going to spend money campaigning for these films. So I've listed down 40, everything from movies that are competing for the highest levels to everything below, just films that are competing for one category, whether that's visual effects, whether that's animation, all that. Just trying to give you guys a list slash if resource to just kind of be like, okay, these are films that essentially, if I know about slash pay attention to when they're coming out, et cetera, I can kind of keep an eye, and this will be a good way going into Oscar season until stuff becomes more defined with the awards bodies end of December, January. So anyway, check out my channel, subscribe for that. I'll be doing far more coverage of it, not just trailer reviews, though I am trying to do a few more of those. And thank you all for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more. My name is Ben Friedman. Take care and bye-bye.